From this fabulous bar in downtown Toronto called Secret, this is the LeDrew 3-minute interview. And my guest today is Soma Ray-Ellis, one of the foremost employment lawyers in Canada, from Gardiner Roberts in downtown Toronto. And thanks for joining us today, Soma. Employment. Everybody's talking about employment and how it's changing with COVID. What's the future of employment in Canada?
It's going to look very different, Stephen, because a lot of us will not be going back to work until there's vaccine. And until we do, the nature of employment is social, and we have to adjust ourselves to make ourselves unsocial, to keep ourselves apart, 6 feet apart.
Well, you're a lawyer, so lawyers are always unsocial to each other, most of the time. But I mean, how do you practice law from your home?
It's difficult. It's isolating. But, I'm on the phone a lot and I'm doing Zoom hearings, so at least I can see my colleagues, I can see my clients. But it's not the same, because a lot of how we develop and how we learn and how we get clients, for that matter, is the contact, the personal contact.
And we're now socialized. Just think about what your children, other children who haven't been socialized, who are just learning. They'll never learn.
They're going to have difficulty, because if you don't get to know the other person, you're not going to develop a connection. And
right.
So they're not going to get properly socialized. The ones that are coming into the workforce right now and the next year, they're going to be behind a little bit, and we're going to have to help them.
Is that a whole new area of expertise to, aside from the schools, to bring along people? Go to law school, learn how to deal with somebody.
I think that, life coaches are becoming big now as a result, just to help people deal with anxiety, crisis management, and how to socialize. So I think we're going to see some areas of work increase, because people are going to need help with the socialization.
So we're talking about lawyers and, the big shots. What about people who work in small towns, who work in forestry, who work in factories? Like the average person, how's that going to be dealing with things?
I think that it's going to be difficult for them. We have AI monitoring workplaces now. We're losing some levels of privacy. And some jobs you just can't do it 6 feet apart.
So are people just going to say, chuck it, and they're going to just say, move ahead and take the risk?
I think that, if we don't insist on these rules, people are just going to go ahead and talk to each other. They're going to stand close to each other, because that's human nature. It's not normal for us to stay away from each other.
And so what are the employment and the workplace repercussions of that?
I think that the companies have to be very clear. They really need to put in policies and practices and be clear about what the expectations are. They have to tell their employees, look, if you're not following the rules, you can get terminated.
Oh, it could be a dark world. But Soma Ray-Ellis, thanks for exploring it with us.
My pleasure.
Okay. Thank you for watching. We have many more interviews like that in production. We are going to be having the interviews that you will not see on the mainstream media. If you like it, please subscribe to the LeDrew 3-minute interview.